Hey, everybody, here we are. And we were in the midst of a conversation about making old things new, which isn't
Hmm.
necessarily the topic for today, but Tone showed me something that he did with his one of his garden icon pieces, the
Yeah,
pagoda, right? Is that what it is?
it is not a pagoda, but it's a Japanese pagoda. Something else. It's like the long pointy thing with the little
Yeah,
roofs on it.
I forgot what
Yeah,
it's called. I just
this is a Japanese garden lantern, like
Yes,
a
that's it. Yep, yep.
tea
It's a
house
tea house
garden
lantern, right?
feature thing. Yeah,
Right, and
yeah,
just slapping a new spray coat of granite textured paint
yeah,
has brought it back to its beautiful, vibrant newness. And I was
yeah.
just starting to talk about how it was a project that turned out to be much more complex than any of us, well, especially me, envisioned, but
Hmm.
giving your sword scabbards a new lease on life, right? Because they were faded and you couldn't tell where the red ended and the black began. But man, what we
Hmm.
went through to get that done. But the finished product was worth the effort.
Always, yeah, as
For
usual.
sure. It's all it's
Yeah,
all in the details, right? Storytelling's all in the details.
right. And I have to pay you a compliment as well with your tiki room bar. Wow, that's really awesome. You pulled that off like crazy. Great. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
Awesomely
you.
beautiful. Yeah.
I I believe, and you are the same way, I believe in creating environments that are enveloping, that are comforting, that create connection, and that tell stories. My
Yeah.
Kungaloosh room that I had, my my current office, any space I create, I want you to be able to walk into it and just start being taken along a journey by looking at the things that surround you. And so for that, there's so much in there
Mm.
that tells a story. So I'm glad
Yes.
you like it. The reality is, and this is already the thing that I'm hearing, what people are envisioning or imagining, or even what they've seen in photos is nothing compared to the experience when they see it firsthand.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I believe it right away. Yeah. It's always, a picture rarely does it right to
Yep.
uh,
Yeah.
to the overall feeling if you go into it or look at it if, in real, like in real life, it's always different. Yeah,
It's true. It's true. And
it's so
that
crazy.
perception
Yeah,
piece is, I think you get kind of an idea because of how tranquil your garden is. The
yeah,
photo that I have, which is my screensaver on my phone, is a vertical shot from the deck looking out across the water to the sun on the back
yeah,
wall and the artwork, and kind
yeah.
of gives you an idea, but no, it's still not the same.
And of course, you always miss the 3D. And also, what's really strikes me at your tiki bar is that you see all the items that you see in a picture, they all look really genuine. It's not like doesn't feel like a mock-up thing, like something you slap together. It's like really you place the items really carefully
Yes.
to my taste. And I think it looks like actually transported into a real life tiki bar in a tropical island or wherever you are. It's
Well,
beautiful.
the story, and I think I showed you a photo of the shrunken head. I think I sent that to you.
Mm, hmm.
And the story is, the working title is Ned's Crash Landing, and that's Ned. Ned was an aviator whose plane went down in some far off location, and the rumor is that that's Ned's head, carefully, artfully
Okay.
created as a shrunken head. But the story behind all of that is there were these guys who went overseas, fell in love with the Polynesian culture, and decided they needed to bring it back with
Uh,
them. And that's why when you look around, you see, feel, and hear things that go, oh boy, that's evocative. Like the radio in the back, that giant
right. The
General
big
Electric
one.
radio.
Yeah.
It's a vacuum tube radio, which you and I remember what those things are, because we listened to radios as children that
Yeah.
were vacuum tube radios. So that one,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's missing it's missing probably about 20% of its vacuum tubes, but remarkably, the
Yeah.
speaker is in perfect condition. So
Cool.
I wired an Edison jack to it, and I can plug it into a MP3 player, and
Oh, that's so cool.
I play music from the 1940s and 50s, and it sounds amazing coming through that speaker. So,
That's cool.
that's another element. And
Uh-huh.
I think, I think lighting is a really important part of the story. And I know you feel that way because I've watched, as I've been fortunate to be a part of the different iterations of gardens that
Mm,
have appeared in your backyard. And for me as well, lighting is a great way of focusing on where you want people to pay attention. And
right.
so you're
And
right, it's all very intentional.
yeah, it looks really great. And one question on site, does this radio also have this little green little in Netherlands you call it the cat eye? And because you have this little thing, you can see if you're dialed into the
Yes,
station
yes. So
correctly. It
that
goes like up
that
and down.
yes, I had a radio that did that. The green gas lit up
Right.
when you had pulled in a station. Now,
Yeah.
I haven't wired the actual radio to work because
No.
the plug is the original cable, and the moment I touched it, the insulation crumbled in my hands. So,
Ah,
but but like I said, the speaker itself, I disconnected the speaker from the radio and I put on wires and a jack. Tone, that
perfect.
speaker
Perfect.
works as if it was brand new out of the factory. But I am,
Yeah.
because you mentioned that, and I remember that as well, I'm going to install backlighting in the screen and also for the tuner part so that
Right.
I'll be able to turn it on. And right
Yeah.
now, all the lighting for Ned's Crash Landing is solar powered. And I think I might have sent you some photos of that. And if I haven't, I will.
Yeah. You
But
have. Yeah.
um and I
Maybe
created,
you have to pull them up.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
show the pictures in the podcast today.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Yeah,
able to
why
do
not?
that. I don't have
Oh,
them
that
on this
sucks.
computer,
Okay.
but you know what?
Okay.
It's a good idea, and I think what I'll do is we'll do everybody who's paying attention as well. We'll do a future episode where we talk about gardens because I know you're working on your tea house, right?
No, yeah, I'm kind of not really because I haven't had the time yet and the manpower. So
Oh, trust,
yeah, but
I built Ned's all by myself.
yeah, I know. We have to put on these big poles on the four sides of the tea house. Have these big
Oh, yeah.
trees,
Yep.
like this really regular trees, like they're cut up
Yeah.
on top of the plant. They're 2.5 meters. So
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to manhandle them in my own on my
trust me,
own. So yeah,
I know.
yeah,
My hands have been, permanently cramped from
yeah.
2 weeks of ripping down 4x4s and drilling holes and mounting bamboo to wood and painting and running wire, and I have probably wrapped about 350 yards of sisal, the hemp over wires and everything just to conceal it. But again, you it's it's supposed to be a space where stories of adventure are being told just by looking around.
Yeah, yeah.
You go, well, that's an interesting story. Like, one thing I I picked up I picked up at a secondhand store, a thrift store, something that I said, man, I'm going to use that for something. And even though I wasn't quite sure what, I knew I wanted to use it. So what I wound up doing And I didn't take a picture of the whole darn thing. I thought I would have, but I didn't. It's
Hmm.
do you know what a shadow box is? A shadow box is like a picture frame, but it has depth, so you can put things into it.
Oh, like you can look into it. Like
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah.
Really? Okay.
So you know what a picture frame is?
Yeah, tuurlijk. Yeah, of
So imagine a
course.
picture frame that's got depth.
It's got depth.
Yeah, so you
Like in
can
a
put things inside it.
yeah, like a viewing box or something
Exactly,
like that.
precise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yeah, okay.
I decided, and you can't really tell, but I had this crazy idea. I was like, I know what I was going to do was um I was going to create a piece of bark fabric art, which is what's it called? Tapa? I can't remember. Again, my brain.
Okay.
But I had a different idea instead. I took swizzle sticks from some of the different places I've been and have been gifted to me. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but I put them inside. So there's just layers and layers of swizzle sticks, which is what you find in all these delicious fruity alcoholic beverages.
Hmm.
And
No, I've never seen them.
they're from all over the world. I'll send you some photos. You know what? When that's what we'll do. We'll both I'll create a special lead in because we'll talk about what we did to create, for you with your I'm sorry I'm not there. I would help you with your tea house
That's
because
fine.
Lord knows two sets of old man broken body hands are better than one.
Yeah, I wish I could have been there to help you with your tiki bar. That would have been
Uh
cool. Ah, well. We will
Well,
get well
you would have loved
to it.
it, and I would have benefited from you going, "Hey, what if you do this instead?" Because
Yeah,
when you and Leon helped me with the garden, uh,
yeah, yeah.
you had these ideas that completely revolutionized the way I was looking at the front part of the garden, and it tied everything together.
Mm. Oh, you did a great job already. I just did
Yeah,
little bit things that may turn out to be great. So that's good. Always good.
I
Nice.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
I agree. We're good partners, man. Whether we're
Some,
talking, what's that?
yeah, we can be, and we are.
We can be. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think we've
we can. By the way, if you're wondering, this is
zero alcohol.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
You know,
Heineken?
yes, it is. You never guess how many kilos I lost. Can you see it in my face?
I can see it in your face. Yeah. But it
Just a little
also
bit.
looks like you're
Yeah.
working out your chest.
No, not yet. Just the chubbiness just falling off.
No, you look good. I never,
I
you,
lost
so,
6 kilos.
oh, so that's a little over 12
Six.
pounds, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Go for this theater
Just
this morning.
just by stop drinking and lose the fatty food and sugar
So
and stuff like that. So
I've lost
mm.
3 kilos
Oh,
just by, so I've been
building the tiki bar.
well, yeah, I sweat so much and I'm drinking tons
Yeah.
of fluid, but also, um, most of my meals over the course of the past 2.5 to 3 weeks have been vegetables and they've been grains like quinoa. Um, I've
Okay.
had, I've had, I had fish twice.
Oh, fish. Oh, but it's I I picked up some herring at the place nearby.
Yeah. Need that
Not
good.
good.
No?
No, it sucks.
Oh,
No, somebody else owns the place. Like I told you the last time you were here, and
yeah.
it sucks. It
The place
sucks.
we went to was
Yeah.
where? What was that place we went to? Is on the barge? What's the town?
Yeah, no, that's the other one. That's the good one. His name is that's what that was in Kampen.
Compen, right. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
but
gotta tell you, that was some of the best toddying I've ever had.
that is, yeah. And that's the same guy who used to own this place here nearby my house.
That's not good.
And yeah, he sold the place to somebody else and they suck. They do. It's terrible. My brother Chris was is in the hospital. because or he's in a
right
recovery
now?
home. How do you say that? Yeah, yeah. He fell and he broke his fucking hip
So where
really
is he?
bad. He's now in a recovering
Oh
place where
yeah.
he can
How
recover.
did he
Yeah,
fall?
yeah. Just fell out. He slipped on the laminate floor covers. How do you say it?
Yeah.
The floor thing is floor, laminate floor. I'm making it more difficult than I have to. Anyway, yeah. So he got out of bed and he stood up and he slipped. And then he landed on his hip and he broke the fucking hip joint, like the ow, fuck. Sorry. The knob, it was
Yep.
cracked
Yep.
off of
Yep.
his
Yep.
upper leg.
Yep.
Yeah, and so they had to put in a like an artificial knob, and of course a big stitch on the side of his leg to replace that. So
How big?
he got
How big is
he
the
got.
incision?
Oh, I don't know. I never asked him. So anyway, so that was kind of sucks. Yeah. So I've been uh I've been visiting him for a couple of times for the last week or so, because yeah, he's an old guy, no stamina, no physical condition. He's very bad shape now. Yeah, he says he's doing better, so hopefully he will pull through. But he's already 81, eh? So we'll see. Okay.
Ugh.
Anyway, yeah, really bad.
Well,
Yeah,
tell him I'm thinking about him, and everybody out there who's watching and listening is generating
yeah,
nothing but
nice.
good vibes.
Of course. Yeah. Well, it's a good lesson for him because and it should be a good lesson for everybody else. And he kind of let himself slip. You know, he didn't have a good condition. He had not enough uh, work. He didn't work out. And if you're getting older, it's very, very important that you do so. And he
Yes.
didn't. So now he has to pay the price
More
because he didn't have the muscle to catch himself.
right.
So he went bam, like full on, he hit the floor with his hip, and it was gone. Yeah, it's really bad.
And he
So
probably didn't,
anyway,
I think I told you this story before. I learned how to
mm.
ski. I learned how to snow ski late in life,
Yeah,
uh
me too.
and my when my brother taught me this, he goes, it's going to
Yeah,
be easy for you because you already know how to fall. You're a stunt man. That's the thing that
exactly.
causes problems. And
Right.
he was serious about it, and I thought about it, and the first time I fell was the very first time I went down the slope, but I knew how to fall. And you are
Right.
correct. It's more important when you get older to work
Oh
out
yeah.
and to do everything
Oh
you
yeah.
can to be physically active, because when you're
Exactly.
younger, you have more stem cells, you have more
Right.
elasticity, your muscles heal quicker. When you're older, man, there's calcium deposits, they're brittle, your skin is thinner.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I agree, and that's as
Yeah.
much as I was joking, kind of tongue in cheek about how the tiki space was probably the most complex thing I've ever taken on by myself.
Mm.
I also know I can feel it in my bones, my muscles, my body that that kind of activity, that kind of exercise is what's going to allow me to keep my body.
Yeah. Yeah. But really, really important. Yeah. Yeah. Have to keep yourself in shape when you get older because it's imperative, really. If you don't, I can see the difference because I have my brother Dan. He I used to go with him with biking, right? With a sports bike.
Yep.
I went out riding with him all the time. And he was back in the day, yeah, he still is, of course. He's around 14 years older than me. So he would be around 78 or 9, right? And he's still in good shape.
Hmm.
He's in better shape than I am, Ron, really.
But
So
he
yeah,
stays.
it's
It would be easy for
and he
you
goes, yeah,
because you and I both have a
yeah,
core muscle memory background because
yeah,
we were both
that's
performers
true.
and we were very physically active for a
Right,
very long time. So
that's true.
sitting
Yeah,
around is not something you and I are not people who sit around unless we're, for example, in the company of others, or we're
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
needing to relax.
exactly. Right.
Otherwise we're on the go. And that that need for
Mm,
physical activity, I
mm,
remember, and I've told this story more times than I can count, that one of the
yeah.
first times I was going to the market in Elburg, I watched as an older couple ride up on their bikes, and they were both wearing the wooden klompen, and
Uh-huh.
I thought that was pretty cool, and I asked Leon about that, and he recognized the couple, said that they were both in their 80s, and this is natural,
Right.
it's normal for them to ride the 5 or so kilometers several times a week. And I went, man, you're
Yeah.
hard pressed to find an octogenarian in the United States doing the same thing. We're
Mm,
not, we're as a society, we're a culture that spends more time focused on advertising pharmaceutical products than we are on what you should do to get better and healthier and stay.
yeah, exactly. Proactive.
Yep.
It's a great, yeah, that's, yeah, exactly what it is. Yes, mate, it's very, very important, but it's very easy to get a little bit more lazy when you get older and, eat a little bit more and stuff like that. But it's really important to stay in shape. You don't necessarily have to be like a young god or anything. That's not what it's all about. But you have to make sure that your muscles stay in shape. You have to be strong. The stronger you are, the more you can do, the more you
I
can cope
agree.
with.
I agree. And I think,
Absolutely.
I,
Yeah.
I find I eat less now
Yeah.
than I used to. I mean, you remember
Right.
my voracious appetite. Good Lord.
Yeah. And also, what's really interesting, because we talked about it before the show, is that we want to have a conversation about habits and customs and gestures and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like there's I think this big difference that like between the American lifestyle, a lot of people that are overweight in the States, and it's not because they're fucking lazy slobs. It's because the food is too rich in fat and sugars and stuff like that. It's like it's almost ingrained in the, no pun intended,
You're
in the
well,
American culture.
but
Yeah, and
it
it's a
is.
difference between us, between
We
the
have
Netherlands and the States. We
the
have fat people, of course, but not as
well,
much.
no, but it's how they're advertising to
Yeah,
you. And
yeah, yeah,
here's a couple of examples. We have the beef and meat, farmers of America, the ranchers, they're massive
yeah.
$1 million campaigns. It'll say
Yes.
beef, that's what's for dinner, right? And milk, it does a body good. And my thing is always milk. We're basically drinking the thing that came out of the breast of another species. And
Exactly that.
and
Yes.
why
If you
why are
put
we
it like
doing
that,
that?
it's really strange.
I found it I found it interesting. The first time into I flew into the Netherlands on Martin Air when they were still doing commuter service, not
Exactly.
just
I know
cargo.
that.
And
I remember that.
they served us breakfast, and the breakfast was granola with yogurt and not milk. And I went, wow, what the?
Ah,
And I looked around, everybody else is mixing the yogurt. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. Like, oh, this is good.
yeah,
And I was like, oh
yeah.
yeah, it's a completely different thing. And
Right.
you're right. And we could go down a rabbit hole with this.
Oh
The
yeah.
thing about sugar is not vilified, and it should be. And this goes back to the
It should be.
1970s, where it was a battle between sugar and fat. And the sugar concerns, the growers, they they managed to lobby successfully to have fat villainized. Sugar,
Yeah.
sugar is between sugar and cattle for consumption. Those are two massive industries in the state of Florida. Do we
Exactly.
do we
Yes.
need sugar? You know what? There's so much sugar available in all of its natural forms that that granular stuff, that man, from 3 feet
That's
away,
poison.
3 feet away, make a pile of it or a line, put it up next to cocaine, and you can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
says
Yeah,
it,
that's
it is
pretty
it
funny.
is a
Yeah,
it is a
it
poison.
is.
It is a
It
poison,
is a
but then there's
poison.
also
It's a, yeah.
there's processed and ultra processed foods. it still happens to me, even with the fact that there's now more sugar and salt being added and introduced to Dutch foods. It's still not as much as here in the States, and my body always takes a few weeks to get used to American food when I come back because of all the crap
Yeah,
we put into it.
yeah, yeah. Sue, yeah. I experienced the same thing when I went over there. Yeah, you're completely intestine. Your all intestines are getting used to and struggling with all the crap that you're working in. It's
Yes.
true. Yeah, but on the other hand, there's always a choice, but it's pretty hard. And but also here in the Netherlands, because I was saying that we don't have as much bad food as the States. But come to think about it, it's not really true because you're walking around in a supermarket and you look at the package, and because now I had to do it because of my liver,
Yep.
and if you then you start looking for it, and then that's amazing how many sugar there are in everything you pick off a shelf. Sugar,
This
sugar,
this
sugar,
has
and
changed.
not
This
like
has
a little
changed
bit,
though
but
since since 99. This has changed.
mm,
Used to be when you picked up something on the shelf in a Dutch supermarket, it was just suiker. It wasn't high
mm,
fructose. It wasn't any of that. It was just suiker. But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
you're
I didn't
right.
know.
But
But there is like in every serving of any product, it's on average it's like one sugar cube for each serving, whatever you eat. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't
several
be like that.
several
It's,
years ago, I think the number was 6 pounds. That was what the average American consumed in sugar every year. 6 pounds of sugar.
oh, I'm not
Six
surprised at all.
pounds. That's three
Yeah,
kilos. Ugh.
crazy. Yeah, it is. But hey, well, sugar and salt, like that makes our food tasty. That's how it goes.
Well,
If you only eat the meat or you only eat the vegetables and you get rid of the starch and the hidden sugars and the crystal sugar and all that stuff like refined sugars, if you lose that, you'll be fine. You just eat fruits and vegetables and meat separately.
yes.
That's
And
the trick.
we don't need, uh, I, I, I don't get into this with people because if you believe what you believe, you're
Mm.
going to be dug in on your belief and you're going to be absolutely immovable to anything that sounds
Right.
logical. But
Also really interesting. If you want to have like fruit juice, everybody goes like, "Oh yeah, it's healthy. You have to have fruit juice," but it's not healthy at all because if you don't eat the fruit and only drink the juice, you get an overload of sugars as well because the fibers and everything in there, yeah, they have an
so
interaction with the with
think,
the with the fructose, and
think
then if
about,
you get off of the fibers, then the body starts reacting to it as if it
right.
were refined sugars.
Well, think about this, and it's a thing that people don't think about. There's like, I'm eating healthy because I'm having smoothies. Okay,
Yeah, no,
so
it's
that
not.
that smoothie is loaded instead of it being a couple of handful of berries, it's now two
Mhm.
pints of berries, it's a half pint of strawberries. It's all of this
Yeah,
that is so much sugar that your
yeah, but
body, if your body doesn't go into a diabetic shock, it's a surprise. And
and it's even worse because if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, smoothie is also with dairy, right? What's in there? Milk or
it
yogurt or
it
something
can
like that?
it can be there. I
Because if
think
it is, that's even worse
yeah.
because then you start combining the hidden sugars with the fructose, so you have a double.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, a lot of people don't know.
Well, and I mean, let's consider for a moment because I've had fresh milk. I remember,
Yeah,
when Jaap lived in Elburg, I remember uh
yeah.
going and milking the cow and drinking directly from the container. Completely different taste from the milk you buy in the store because most of the
Yeah,
time, 9 out of 10 times, that
right.
milk has been pasteurized. It's been put through a series of processes and filters, and then they add they add
Yeah.
chemicals back to it. I was like,
Hmm.
why? Wait, when you eat or drink
Do
anything that
they?
says
Okay.
when you eat or drink anything that says enriched, people, if it says enriched, what they're telling you is we took all the good stuff out and then we added a synthetic version of the good stuff back in.
Yeah, it's like putting extra nicotine in cigarettes.
Yeah. Enriched.
Right. Yeah.
This tobacco now enriched. More. That's always
Enriched
like
with nicotine.
I don't know if y'all ever got this. We had here in the States
Oh,
soda
ow,
called
fuck.
Jolt
Ah,
Cola.
oh, I'm sorry, my hand. Ah. Okay, anyway, Jolt Cola.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
okay?
Ah, I was that hurt. This
Yeah, I can tell.
here. There's
Oh yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
here.
Well, don't
Yeah,
do that.
I have to go to the doctor's office
Yep.
anyway. I have an
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
appointment in
so
50 minutes. Oh
real
my God.
quick, Jolt Cola.
Okay,
Jolt
Jolt.
Cola.
Like a jolt.
Yes.
Like
It
what I just
had
got, a pain
so
jolt.
folks out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it had the equivalent, one can of soda had
Yeah.
the equivalent of 2 or 2.5 cups of coffee worth of caffeine.
Whoa. Well,
Yeah.
talking about a jolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
And
guess,
then
what's in the
people,
name?
people drink these other things that have caffeine and have B complex vitamins, and of course B complex vitamins are natural stimulants, so they don't
Mm.
understand why their heart's going.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yes, it does. Okay. Hey, mate, I have to go.
It's time, isn't it? All right.
I have to go to the doctors. Oh my God. And this weekend I have a festival going, so
Which
fuck.
festival?
I'm going to Wildeburg. Maybe you can look it up in line. It's like a fun little festival. Well, it's a lot of people there as well, but
What kind of
it's
festival?
not like
Music?
it's yeah, music and arts and
So it sounds like a
yeah,
smaller version
ex
of Lowlands.
yeah, it is, but it's pretty big as well, but not as
Good.
big as Lowlands. And
Probably not as
it's
expensive either.
streets, yeah, street art stuff like that. A lot of music, and well, I have a good time, I'm sure.
No,
Anyway,
I hope you have a blast, my friend.
I will. But first, I
We'll
have
have
to
to
get.
talk all about it next week.
We will. Okay.
Any
I'll talk
parting
to you
words of
later,
wisdom?
honey. Yeah, like and subscribe. Love you all. Love you too.
And work out. How about that? How about that,
Yeah, I
everybody? Work out.
yes.
Be
Oh yeah. Oh
be
yeah.
smart. Take care of your body,
Yeah,
etc., etc.,
especially
etc.
exactly.
Anyway, Tone has to go, so because he needs to get old, get the hell out of your body. Now you need to go to the trust me, I feel it. I feel it.
Out, out of nowhere.
Ugh. Ugh.
And it's bothering me already for over a year, but now it's like
Getting
became
worse. All right.
yeah.
Well, hopefully they've got a magic solution that will require very little on their part and your part to make it better.
I guess it's going to give me a shot with what's it called? That stuff.
Cortisone?
Um, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yes.
something in
Yeah.
that order of. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steroid.
Hopefully, because if I have to go into the weekend with this, oh my God, it's going to be a
Oh,
long
I'm
weekend.
sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway, it's great talking to you again, my friends.
You too, ladies and gentlemen, like he said, click like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your friends' friends.
Yeah.
Tell
Or
your
leave a
enemies.
comment
Tell
down
them they
below.
wouldn't like it. They wouldn't understand it. It's too
Right.
elevated in its intelligence for them. Do that. Do everything you need to insult people so they come to us in droves.
Yes, that would be fun.
Have a
Just talking out
beautiful,
of it.
beautiful day, everybody, and we will see you on the next one.
We will. Oké, dankjewel
Later.
en tot ziens. Later. Thank you. Bye.